Hi. Sorry it took me so long to answer the door. I was, Are you looking for somebody?
Uh-huh. Ben Marsden?
Oh, sorry. He's not here just now. In fact, nobody's here except me, and I'm just visiting. I'm his daughter.
So am I.
Well, guess you better come in.
So I had enough money for a bus ticket, so, here I am.
Darcy?
I'm in the kitchen, Mom.
You can put the hamburger back in the fridge. While I was cleaning the senator's house, his wife was cleaning out the freezer, and she found this roast that... Oh, I didn't know you had company.
This is Val.
Hello, Val.
This is my mom, Bonnie Marsden.
Hi.
I'll take that, Mom. You better sit down.
Okay.
Would you like a beer, Mom? There's still a dozen left in the flat I brought from Halifax.
Oh, I'll leave those for you.
I think you better have a beer, Mom.
Okay. Thanks.
You remember that summer 19 years ago when I was just a toddler and Robbie a baby and Moyle just starting school?
19 years? Oh, summers kind of run together.
It was before you got that job at the credit union, and the only job Dad had was snow plowing. So that summer Dad went out west to work for a few months and send money home.
Oh, yeah. Well, somebody your father'd gone to school with had a job surveying for Hudson's Bay Mining and Smelting. So he got your father a summer job cutting brush around Flin Flon. I can't remember if it was 19 years ago or 18.
It was 19. My mother, you see, Denise Descharmes, well, she was a waitress at the Flin Flon Hotel. She raised me all on her own. A couple of months ago, the doctors finally figured out she'd had cancer for a long time. It was moving too fast for them to do anything about it.
What a sin.
Before she died, she told me who my father was. A man named Ben Marsden from Pisiquid Village, Membertou County, Nova Scotia.
Bastard.
Yeah, I am. I don't want anything from him. Just to meet him and tell him what happened to my mother. I know it sounds stupid, but if I could just meet him and, talk to him for a few minutes, so I'll have some sort of picture of who my father was. Is. And then I'll get out of your lives forever.
Where are you going to go, Val?
I don't know. Hitchhike back to Manitoba, I guess.
Hitchhike? You can't.
Mom!
We heard.
I didn't get into any trouble at school, so don't ask me.
Melissa, this is Val. She's, the daughter of an old friend of your father's. She's going to be staying with us for a few days. In Moyle's old room.
Okay. I gotta go feed the rabbits.
I think I'll go lie down for a while.
For God's sake, Clyde, when are you going to learn to recognize the old man's truck? You had it yesterday. Yes, Bonnie, I remembered to put...
We're going for a little walk in the woods.
Well, kind of cold for a picnic. Are the girls...
You and I are going for a walk in the woods.
She said her mother's name was Denise?
Denise Descharmes.
She's got to be crazy. I never even knew anybody named Denise. What color are her eyes?
Whose eyes?
The girls.
Brown.
Just brown or wheel brown? Dark brown?
Pretty dark. Like cooking chocolate.
Brown-eyed girl.
Huh?
Oh, the guys on the crew used to tease me with that song. Because there was this waitress who liked to flirt with me. Just flirting. Hell, she must have been 10 years younger than me. Just barely old enough to work in a bar. There was one night I gave her a lift home from the all-night restaurant where everybody went after last call. We got a little... Oh, I'm sorry, Bonnie, but I was 28 years old and drunk and lonely, and we did a bit of kissing and cuddling, but that was all. I think.
You think?
I was so damn drunk I shouldn't even been a passenger, much less driving. You ever had a blackout, Bonnie? I mean, a real alcohol blackout? I woke up next morning in my own hotel room, alone. Only it turned out it wasn't the next morning. It was the next morning. That's why they fired me.
You didn't tell me they fired you.
Well, it was only a week short of the end of the job anyway. And when I got back home, I got on full-time with the parks department, so I didn't have to explain why I wouldn't be going back west next summer. Probably Flin Flon wouldn't have fired me for just missing a day. Would be the first guy. But I was driving this company truck, and there was a big ding in the side of it. I got no idea where it come from.
Well, Val's mother had some idea where she came from.
What are you going to do, Bonnie?
I don't friggin' know. But the least we can do is put up your daughter for a few days. Or a few weeks. See if we can find some way to let her get a start in life. Well, she's got no one else to take responsibility for her.
So, since I had no work on this afternoon, Bonnie figured you'd like it if you and me took Clyde for a walk in the woods.
Right.
You can see we have to keep him on the line in the yard, too close to the road. But in the woods, we can let him off his leash and he'll stick close. Unless we run across a deer or a fox or... Can't expect him not to get caught up in the moment of things and go chasing. Just a dog.
Me and Mom had a dog once. A big husky dog.
Oh.
When I got old enough not to need a babysitter, but too young to feel safe in the house at night when she had to go to work. Babysitters cost a lot more than a dog.
That's true.
But a big dog still costs something to feed, and Mom never had much money. So when I turned 16 and didn't need him anymore, Wolfie had to go.
Wolfie? You gave him away?
I took him to the pound. What else could we do?
Yeah.
Guess I'm sort of an inconvenience to you.
Well, look now, I can't blame you for living. I can't pretend you showing up hasn't complicated things. But you got right. I hope you haven't inherited it. Well, I do things, you see. Sometimes my blood gets up without thinking for a second of the consequences. Less since I got older and slower. But a few times I had to pay the price, or people around me did. But the number of times I could have ended up in jail or worse. Except for God taking care of fools and drunks.
I don't know if I'd rather be an inconvenience or a consequence.
You're not either, Val. You're just a person, same as anybody else. Well, not the same as me, I hope. Was your mother, until she got sick, was she, all right?
Oh, sure. Unmarried mother in a small town. The only job she could get was serving beer to guys with wandering hands.
Yeah.
She kept up a smile. She was like that. I guess you don't remember. But even a little kid could tell.
Yeah. If she'd have told me, sent me a letter or something, I would have tried to help. Sent a little money from time to time. Hell, who am I kidding? I've barely been able to support my own kids.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I know it sounds scummy, Val. But you're right. I can sort of remember your mother, but not entirely. I've been trying to remember. I could say alcohol's a terrible thing, but nobody put a funnel down my throat. And it was so long ago. Hell, she couldn't have been more than 2 or 3 years older than you are now. If you're 17...
18.
Ah, right. One thing I do remember, like you said about your mother keeping up a smile. She had a smile you couldn't forget. Say, you see that little patch of shady ground over by the deadfall there? That's our morel patch. Wild morel mushrooms. Nobody knows about it but us.
So?
So, well, nothing in particular, just making conversation. Right. Come on, Clyde. We're getting a bit too close to the yard now to trust him running free. See, you want to take him and hutch him back up to his line? I gotta run over to the fire hall for a bit. You can tell Bonnie not to wait supper for me.
Will he bite?
Clyde? No. You've been in and out of the house with him, slept over. You're part of his family now.
Sure. Thanks, Ben, for talking to me.
Sure. Bonnie, you asleep? Sorry it got so late, but I had to get things straight about that job for tomorrow. Don't you think there's something off-kilter about Val?
Well, there would be, wouldn't there?
Yeah, I guess there would. But, like you said about her coming all this way to see me, when we were out walking Clyde, she didn't really want to talk to me.
Did you think it'd be easy for her?
No, I guess you're right. But she damn sure never had a dog.
Oh, hell. Darcy, this bread's gone moldy. Could you go grab me another loaf from the freezer and I can nuke it for lunch?
Sure, Mom.
Melissa, why don't you take this old loaf out for the chickens?
Help me, Val. Oh, you bet, Melissa. Just let me grab my push.
Mom, there's something kind of funny about...
About what?
Well, for one thing, don't you think Val's kind of small for 18?
Yeah, but given the way she grew up, most single mothers can't afford to feed their children steak and eggs every morning.
Okay, but... Well, what is this thing about her purse? I mean, she won't even go out and feed the chickens without grabbing her purse.
Well, maybe where she grew up, her mother being a bar waitress and all, you just get into the habit of not leaving your purse lying around.
Oh, hell, look at the time. My bus leaves in 20 minutes.
And I'm up to my elbows in egg salad.
The red one packed the basket. No, the white one did.
Val, could you run Darcy into town for the bus? The car keys are...
Oh, sorry, Bonnie, but I don't have a driver's license. I haven't learned to drive yet. Well, my mom, you see, couldn't afford to have a car, so...
Oh, well, maybe you can finish making lunch for you and Melissa then, and I'll run Darcy into town. I'm sorry to trouble you, Corporal Kowalczyk, with something that's probably just a foolish little question. But I had to come into town anyway, and I thought, while I was passing by...
No trouble at all, Mrs. Marsden. It's a slow day, I'm glad to say. Have a seat. Now, what was your question?
Well, you grew up in Manitoba.
Grew up might be an exaggeration, but yeah, mostly in Manitoba. People on the prairies tend to move around a lot more than they do here. From Lake of the Woods to the Rockies is all more or less the same neighborhood.
Is it likely that someone growing up on the prairies would reach 18 years old without learning to drive?
Possible, but not likely. 16 is the magic age when kids start being able to do normal prairie things like drive 100 miles for a good hamburger and chips. Why do you ask?
Well, Corporal, it's a big favor, but would it be possible for you or somebody else in the detachment to check into the birth records of somebody from out west?
That would be absolutely impossible without a formal case in progress. Now, if you wanted to lay charges against somebody, I could proceed to...
Oh, no, there's no charges to be laid.
Bonnie, you've stuck your neck out for me once or twice, and I would for you. Though in this situation, I might get it chopped off. But if you could give me a good reason why it's important to check into somebody's birth records, maybe I could improvise an excuse to submit inquiries to...
Oh, it's not important. No big deal. You know me. I just get curious about nothing.
It's not usually about nothing.
Well, let's just say this time it is. See
Bonnie.
I don't think I could get into a community college. See, I dropped out of high school when my mom got sick, and I've just never gotten around to going back.
home, and I got no homework.
That's good, honey. I'll put together some crackers and cheese for you. But it'll take me a few minutes to get this soup on the go. Well, while you're waiting, why don't you take Val back in the woods and show her where you keep your treasures?
You're not supposed to know about that.
Don't worry. I've never been in there. Don't think my knees could take the crawling even if I wanted to snoop. But I know where you go. I bet you wouldn't mind showing Val, though. And I bet she'd like to see your hideaway.
Oh, I sure would, Melissa, if you'll let me. Okay. I'll just grab my purse and I'll be right
You
back.
wouldn't want to be dragging your purse along, crawling down a tunnel through a thicket.
I'll just grab my jacket then. How'd you find out where I go?
I wasn't spying on you. But I wondered why Clyde always wanted to sniff along the same route when I took him for a walk in the woods. And then one muddy day, I saw your footprints.
Ow. Okay, let's go.
By the time you get back, I'll have crackers and cheese on the table.
Thanks. Bye.
Right, girls? Let's all go treasure hunting. Night, Val.
Good night.
Ben. Ben.
Oh, sorry, Bonnie. I thought you were asleep. I thought everybody was asleep. I was just trying to see if I could remember what happened or didn't happen. But I can't.
I would have been asleep, but Val stayed up a little late, and I wanted to be up after she went to bed.
Why?
Well, this afternoon I made up an excuse to get Val to go out for a few minutes without taking her purse for a change.
Oh.
And she'd stuffed her purse in between the mattress and the box spring, but I found it. In her wallet, there was a Manitoba Liquor Control Commission ID saying Valerie Ducharme is 19, and a picture of Val with a lot of makeup
Well,
on,
that's
and a
no...
birth certificate that would make Valerie Ducharme 15.
Huh?
Yeah, there was a rolled-up wad of $10 and $20 bills, $400 or $500.
Well, she said she was going to have to hitchhike back.
I know. And there was a list with 14 men's names on it, and dates, and general locations like Ben Marsden, 1980, Pisiquid, Nova Scotia.
Huh?
Some of the names, the ones east of Manitoba, had phone numbers and exact addresses written down with a different colored pen and different handwriting. More like hand printing. Like a kid who never got very far in school.
I don't get... What's all that supposed to mean?
I don't know. But maybe I can find out. I copied down the list. One of the names and dates with a phone number scrawled beside it is Tony Parisienne, 1984, Kenora, Ontario. Kenora's 2 hours time difference. So, it's not too late to call.
I'm sorry. Tony's not here right now. and you call in long distance.
Well, actually, maybe you can clear some things up for me. Do you know a girl named Valerie Ducharme?
Val, do you know where she is?
She's here, upstairs sleeping.
Is she all right?
Seems to be.
We've been so worried. She's staying with you on a visit?
She's been here for a few days.
So you know about her mother and all.
More or less.
That poor woman. Oh, Tony will be so relieved to know Val's safe. You see, illegitimate or not, Val's the only biological child he's ever likely to have. You see, when he was working up in Flynn's Lawn was way back before he met me, and well, we've had to adopt. We don't care about the TV and the VCR just as long as Val's all right.
The TV and the VCR?
Well, she stayed with us for a couple of weeks and then just disappeared, and so did a few things from the house. I guess she needed traveling money. But like Tony says, the poor girl's just a mixed-up 14-year-old, and responsibility doesn't end at conception.
14? Well, doesn't she seem kind of big for 14?
Tony says her mother was a tall woman, too, as far as he can remember. Are you a relative of Val's?
I'm not sure. Look, thanks for clearing things up, but I have to go now.
Oh, would you please ask Val to call us tomorrow? Collect?
I'll ask her.
Thanks so much for calling.
Thank you. Bye now.
Well?
Well, I don't know exactly what she cleared up, but something needs clearing up. I guess I'd better go dig Val out of bed and bring her down here. Back down in a few minutes.
What's so important I couldn't wait till tomorrow, Mom? Oh, I mean Bonnie. I was almost asleep.
Just sit down on the couch, Val, and we'll have a little talk.
Talk about what?
Just sit down on the couch, Val.
While you and Melissa were off in the woods this afternoon, I went through your purse.
You said you didn't even snoop through your own kids' things.
I saw the wad of money and the ID cards with 2 different ages.
Lots of kids get faked up IDs. The older ones so I can get into pubs. The younger one was a present from the sort of tough guy I was hanging around with, in case I happened to be around if he got busted, and I could show the police. See, I'm just a kid. That falls under the Young Offenders Act.
And I saw a list of names and dates and made a copy of it. What's the list about?
None of your damn business.
Then I guess we'll have to call Corporal Kowalczyk and ask him to check if the Kenora RCMP had any recent complaints about stolen TVs and VCRs. Who made the list, Val?
My mom, a few days before she died. Wasn't easy for her. By then she couldn't think too straight and her hands hurt. 14 guys in 20 years. They all thought she was a slut, but 14 guys in all that time? Hell, I had more than that, and I ain't even legal yet.
But why did she make the list?
She didn't die of cancer. She died of AIDS. Sometimes it happens slow, and sometimes it happens real fast, especially if you ain't too healthy to begin with, and hick doctors don't figure it out till the last minute. But it can lie in hiding for a long time before it shows. Mom said scientists are saying now it can lie low for 10 years, but a few years ago they were saying it'd show up right away, so who the hell knows? So she wanted me to find the phone numbers for the 14 guys and tell them some of them, maybe all of them, have got it.
You...
No. That doesn't mean for sure she didn't have it when she had me. Maybe you do. Maybe you all do.
Not very likely. Ben, go sit on the couch beside Val, please.
Okay.
What the hell's this
Johnny
all...
won't hurt you. There's no point in you trying to go anywhere if he doesn't want you to. I'm going to put a call into the RCMP.
Like hell?
Just sit tight now.
I don't know what the charges will be. False pretenses for sure. Maybe theft. But enough for them to ship you back to Children's Aid in Manitoba. I've got the list. I'll do what your mother asked you to do with her dying breath. thinking. You're walking stiff.
Banged my knee a little. Reminded me why I swore I wouldn't take on night jobs anymore. I get dozy and clumsy. But it was 9 hours' wages.
The doctor called with your blood test results the minute they came in, just like she promised.
What'd she say?
Negative.
Bonnie, I guess there's no way I can apologize about Denise and all. But it was almost 20 years ago. I was young and lonely.
So was I.